But one of the reasons why we asked to have you on is that we noticed that you talk a ton about U.S. foreign policy on your channel, on the dive. So, coming from a place where you were mainly an environmental activist, how did you get so interested in U.S. foreign policy and militarism?
Well, the US military is the number one polluter on the planet. It's as simple as that. All you have to do is look at how much we allocate towards the military and the Pentagon every year, and that's why we can't afford, in the eyes of someone like Joe Biden, to invest in aggressive climate action. Right? I just saw before we went live, I think we all know that Joe Biden asked for $753 billion for national security spending in 2022. 715 billion of that was supposed to go to the Department of Defense. There's now a coalition of Republicans who are saying that they're probably going to have bipartisan support to increase that number by another $25 billion. So there's no reason for us to continue just dumping all of this taxpayer money into the military industrial complex, other than the politicians who are currently in office are bought and paid for. So recognizing all of that, and also recognizing how much of a sham our foreign policy interests are across the globe, who dictates those foreign policy interests. And in a lot of ways, it's not even the military industrial complex or oil companies, natural gas companies. It's entities and other foreign governments who have a vested interest in seeing either Syria fall or Iran fall, or whatever country fall. Seeing Peru fall or Bolivia fall. And the U.S. plays a key role in that, because at the end of the day, they have the power to do so. So I got really interested in that, and also just digging into why this is happening, why this has happened for generations, and why Americans still are not able to see through the BS as to what's really going on. And I initially got interested in it because I was listening to voices of people, of commentators like myself, who aren't from the United States, but are from the countries that have been impacted in very negative ways by U.S. foreign policy. I listen to Syrian commentators. I listen to commentators that are from Lebanon and have spent a good amount of time in Palestine or Palestinian. And it's like, when you hear the lived experiences of people who have had to suffer under U.S. imperialism, there's no doubt in my mind that this isn't the issue of our time, stopping U.S. imperialism and fighting for peace. So that's kind of what got me interested in it in the first place.
Well, we certainly agree with you on that on fighting U.S. imperialism being the issue of our time, because, as you said, with the amount of money, over 50% of our discretionary federal spending goes to the war machine. It affects everything else that we do. I like to say that it's actually the reason why we can't have nice things, and that it's directly connected to, the lack of decent education in this country, of decent infrastructure that doesn't get a rating of D plus or C minus, that we can't fight climate change, without reining in military spending.